Welcome back to our Teach About AI mini-series. I'm Mrs. Cannikins. Our goal is to empower teachers to have great talking points and lesson ideas available so that when the topic of AI comes up with your students, you can either teach this simple mini lesson with a play and pause format, or you can watch this mini lesson ahead of time so that you have the knowledge and some lesson ideas to deliver to your students when the topic comes up. This time, on part 7 of About AI, we are going to look at understanding algorithms and machine learning. And so we hope that you will get some skills that you can pass along to your students. Previously, we've looked at bias and how AI is unimaginative, disinformation, safety and privacy, plagiarism, copyright, how over-reliance on AI can be a problem. Make sure you go back and watch those as well. And today we are going to start off with a simple little site, QuickDraw with Google.com, and we just come in here and we click on this little button. And oh boy, it's going to ask us to do some questions. I don't have a touch screen, so this will be interesting here.
I see diamond, or zigzag, or t-shirt, or sweater. I'm stumped. Oh, I know, it's camouflage. I see anvil, or pillow, or computer keyboard, or hockey puck. Oh, I know, it's snorkel. I see hula hoop, or bread, or swimming pool, or hockey puck. I see hot tub. Oh, I know, it's cake.
All right, well, some of those were harder than ones that I've had in the past. So the important thing now is to take your students and go to the data page. And so if I click on the one that I had difficulty with, it'll give us all the ones that it confused my drawing with. And then it will take a look at what it's got from elephants from other people. And so this is really interesting. You can see where other people started. Clearly my drawing with the square ears did not turn out very good. And then, even more important than that, is to go to this. We want to click into what the data looks like. And so here we can see all of the different pieces of data. Here, this is when I had Kate draw. This is all the data that the algorithms that the AI is using to learn how to draw a cake. And as we hover over, you can see what people draw first. Often it's the circle on top, but sometimes it's the bottom. And so AI is learning all of those things. Notice how many of the cakes have candles. Isn't that interesting? Almost every single one of them, even though it wasn't birthday cake, they almost all had candles. Click on randomize. There's the snorkel that I had, and there's a shovel. You can see stroke by stroke, look at all of the data AI has been learning. Now, in fact, when we play the Quick Draw game for free, we are helping to train the models for Quick Draw. So often keep that in mind when you're given an opportunity to do something for free, like a game, you are probably doing some AI training. So go ahead and play a quick round of Quick Draw. Make sure you take a look at the data set, discuss that with your students, and when you're done, make sure you click in the top corner. There is a pink button, and that button has a great video that explains some of the theory behind Quick Draw as well. The next thing that I want you to do is to go to Google, and you're going to Google AI for Oceans and code.org, and that should bring you to this activity. So before you get too far into watching the video, I'm going to give you some more instructions, but this is what you're looking for. Now, what you're going to do with that video is you're going to play the video, and then after the video, it's going to continue to the next screen just so you can see what's going to happen. So what you're going to do is you're going to read about garbage dumped in the ocean and how that affects fish, and you are going to go ahead and you are going to identify trash or fish, and you're going to go through with that, and you're going to help train data in this AI model. We, the human trainer, are going to be training, and so the more accurate our data, the better the AI results, the better that it will learn. And so we're just going to click these buttons, fish or not fish, as we go ahead, and the better that we are as trainers, in this case, the better our data will be. So it doesn't know if it's right or wrong. However I train it is going to be the way that it comes. Eventually there are some little fact cards about plastic and keeping our oceans clean. You can see up in the corner we've got 5 pieces of data, and we can just keep going. Oops. All right, so we're going to keep training. If we make a mistake, you can't go back. Keep going, and then you can click continue when you've had enough training, and you'll go on for a couple different screens, and you'll get to do some different screening as you go along. Now, there's 8 different stages. Make sure you watch the videos along the way. With younger students, you can do this with really young students and just do this as a class and have them come up and take turns. You can have students do this individually. If you are having students play individually, a great alternative is to assign students different numbers of training datas to do. So maybe someone does 200 and someone does 50 and someone does 100 and someone does 20 and give students a whole range. And then you can have some great conversations at the end to see what that turns out like. At the end, be sure to take a screenshot of a personalized certificate. But remember, you don't need to give the AI your last name. How was your class discussion? I did an activity where I only chose 10 results. And so if we look at my screen, I wanted you to see how the training data really does affect an algorithm. So if you look at this first image over here, I have an apple core and a tire and a bottle and a fork, some other plastic items. And because I only did 10 items, the AI wasn't trained very well. Now, in most cases, there is an opportunity over here to see what was picked, and I could switch between objects as fish and not fish to see how we did there. So with 10 items, that was not very accurate. The next phase was to make sure that we had some additional sea creatures. So while your AI might have got really good at fish, it might not have recognized a turtle or a dolphin. And so then you had another chance to do some training. And again, I only used 10 items to train. And you can see here that on the right-hand screen, it thought that almost everything was a sea creature, from pop bottle plastic to light bulbs to chicken bones. Just about everything it thought was a fish or a sea creature. And so I didn't do enough training there. The next thing that it asks is a little bit more specific, and you had to pick a color. Now I picked was the fish red. What about a situation like this on the left? Clearly the one in the right-hand frame isn't red, but what about that left-hand one with the fins? Is that red? So if you get to this page or this phase, if you go back and do it again, try training it based on just the body of the red fish, and then try training it to see if it will identify the fins as red as well. And so it's interesting to go back and play this game a couple times. You can see here again on the right-hand side, I only trained with 10 items. And so I have a whole assortment. Some don't even have red at all. So it was training on other things, probably that red body style were some of the fish that I had at the beginning. So again, if we don't have enough training data, our algorithm is really affected. And then at the very end, we started off this series by talking about bias. And one of the things that you do at the end is you have to train for an expression, which is very personal, subjective. And so that's really difficult to do. We really see there where when people have to make judgment calls and they're close and they're hard to tell, boy, is that accurate? Is that fair? Is it biased? If algorithms are trained that way, it really gives us pause for some of the different things that we have to consider when we are training our algorithms and training AI. One last thing is this, not necessarily a game, it's an activity. It's called the Most Likely Machine. It'll take you about 15 minutes, mostlikely.machine.artifactgroup.com. That is a great game or activity to finish up with. And so after this video is over, take another 15 minutes today or another day and come back and play that Most Likely Machine. It really digs deep into some fun ways of looking at artifacts with some famous historical figures. And there's a couple rounds of data gathering that it takes you through there. Teachers, if you're here, we're hoping that you're going to pass this on to your students so that students and teachers all together, we can learn about AI.